launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial Spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1, fire. Missile away. We are now approaching lunar sunrise, and for all the people back on Earth, the crew of Apollo 8 has a message that we would like to send to you. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And from the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
Welcome. My name is Mark, and I am one of the Celestis Ambassadors for Celestis Memorial Space Flights. You're going to have to excuse me if I get a little for blunts here, but this is a very, very, very exciting broadcast. And there's going to be a lot that we're going to be sharing during this broadcast. But before we do so, I just want to applaud, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tranquility and the Enterprise flight. We have a date. Our CEO will be coming up shortly, and he will give you all of the information that comes with that launch date, which is very, very important. If you have not called your family, your loved ones, anyone who's interested in attending this flight or even watching this flight, bear in mind you don't have to be here to attend the flight. You can watch it from the comfort of your home as well as in person. But if you have not contacted any of those family members, any of those loved ones, or anyone who is interested in watching your loved ones literally ascend to the heavens and beyond, you may want to give them a call right now. Bear in mind that the broadcast you will be listening to tonight, you can replay. It's being shown on our Facebook pages, also shown on our YouTube channels. So you will have the opportunity of watching this as many times as you possibly can to make sure that you got down to a T all the information you're going to receive tonight. We're not just going to be talking about one mission tonight or 2 missions tonight. We're going to be talking about all of our future missions, so that those of you that are watching specifically for that information, please hang on. We will be getting around to that. Thank you so much. It's been a while since I've seen or talked to you guys in a while. So like I said before, I'm Marc B, and I am a Celestis Ambassador, and I am here to answer questions. If you have any questions during this broadcast, please make sure you post it in our chat room, or you can ask later on. You don't have to worry about not getting that question. We try to get to every single question that's being asked on this broadcast. Between Charles, myself, and our Celestis team, we're going to make sure we cover every fact, every question you may have. One point that I mentioned to Charles before this broadcast was the fact that even though the date for the Enterprise and the Tranquility flights have been announced, it is a once in a lifetime experience. I know a lot of you have plans, things you need to do, have already planned to do, but Charles will tell you what your options are should you carry out those already scheduled plans, or you plan on coming to see us. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring up the gentleman who is an incredible CEO, friend, co-founder of Celestis Memorial Space Flights, and I'm sure he is as excited about this historic, in capital letters, this historic launch date as I am. Without any further ado, Charles Chafer himself. Hello,
Hey,
Captain.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm excited as anybody who is breathing at this moment. I'm really excited and looking forward to the questions, and looking forward to all the information that you're going to have coming during this broadcast. So what do you got for us, boss?
Lots of cool stuff, but I wanted to start out by homaging to that Apollo 8 video that we ran. I actually was a 15-year-old kid in Oklahoma watching it on a grainy black and white television on that Christmas Eve. And I remember the world was just awestruck by that event on Christmas Eve. And now, 55 years later, if we hold schedule, we're going to be doing the same thing, and the world's going to be maybe not equally awestruck, but just dumbfounded by the audacity of what we're about to accomplish. And all I can say is it's getting real, and it's getting cool. And as I say, as you said, the timing may not work for everybody. We understand that, but as you also said, Christmas Eve comes every year, and this is only going to go once. So anyway, so welcome everyone. I would like to dust off all the other missions first, so that we can spend the balance of the time on Tranquility and Enterprise, which, as we've been communicated by ULA, is now scheduled for Christmas Eve, less than 2 months away. Our next launch after the December launches is a February launch, which we call the Harmony flight, and it's on a transporter mission, flying out of Vandenberg, California, in February. And nothing has changed. We've delivered all of our payload, which is all of your flight capsules, to the integrator. So we're sitting there waiting to be loaded on the SpaceX rocket and launched in February. And obviously, like we do with every launch, as we get nearer, things get clearer, and we communicate more with everyone that's on that launch. But there's no change from that mission. Mission next is Perseverance flight, which is May, Spaceport America, Earthrise service. Again, nothing new, nothing has changed. Mission next is the Serenity flight, which is an Earth orbital mission out of Cape Canaveral. And that is a Q2 2024 mission. Those are the near ones. We'll be building very quickly to our Destiny flight, which we're now showing as Q3 2025, which will be our third visit to the moon, and to our Infinite flight, which is our second Voyager service, which will also be in 2025. So in reality, the website, our website schedule is accurate as of right now, and we're tracking all of those missions as we always do. We're paying more attention to the one that's 60 days hence, and so with your permission, I will segue into some information, and then we'll move to questions, which I can see are mounting up, and love it. So thank you for putting that up briefly. Okay, so December 24, Launch Complex 41, Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, launch of Vulcan Centaur CERT-1 mission. On board that mission are two payloads, the Astrobotic Peregrine lander, which we have payload on that, and us on the Centaur for our Enterprise mission. The launch window for Enterprise and Tranquility begins the 24th and extends through 25 and 26 December. What does that mean? That means those are the 3 days in the lunar month of December that a launch may occur that will correctly align to allow a flight to the moon. So as you think about your schedule, it just makes, if you're going to come and spend Christmas on the beach with us, it makes sense to plan on spending the day after Christmas also, just in case the first, weather, range conditions, technical issues can delay on pad. And fortunately, there is already a pre-cleared window. As I said, the 24th and 25th and 26th. If we don't launch, then we're into January, because again, we must align properly with the moon in order to do the launch. So that's the time frame for the launch. When we say the launch is scheduled for the 24th, please, in your own mind, say to yourself, that could be 12:01 a.m. on the 24th, or it could be 11:59 p.m. on the 24th. We have not, ULA has not announced the time of day of the launch, so that again, as you're making your plans, just know that that's well, of course, it will get set before it flies, duh. But that's currently the range that you need to be thinking in terms of your availability. So we're, as we always do, we're hosting families, friends, VIPs, and others at the launch. In this case, it'll be the first time we've ever done two missions at one time. We have about 70 folks going to the moon on the Tranquility flight. We have about 265 folks going to deep space aboard the Enterprise flight. So we'll be hosting both of those groups. Fortunately, there's not a lot difference that uh, we have to do, but we will be, as I say, hosting first time the two missions. The all of the information in great detail, including links for accommodations, detailed schedule, what have you. Our families, and I define that basically as people that are the primary contact or the secondary contact for the loved one on board, will receive that complete information set in an email from us. We're hoping that we'll have all the approvals that we need so that we can send that email out to you no later than this Friday. And that will open the door for you making reservations and getting even more detail. The families will have an opportunity because we don't know, we really literally don't know what attendance will be like. We're giving the family members a little bit of a heads up on that information to give them the ability to go ahead and make their accommodations. We'll open that up if there's space available to other interested parties um, subsequently. But so for family members and secondary contacts, expect an email from us, and we monitor you very carefully if you open your emails from us or not, and we'll send it to you 3 times and then we'll call you because this is important information and we want to be sure that we reach you. But look for the email first. That's the easiest way to do it. Our hosting begins on December 21, when we'll have an afternoon registration session. Probably will last about 3 hours at our headquarters hotel. And that's what we'll hope most people target to begin registering during that, or register on the 21st. The 22nd, we're reserving for a special event that we're working on and believe that we'll have. It's also a good time for the people that have never visited the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center to go do that. The evening of the 22nd, we'll be having our celebratory dinner, and that will the evening's festivities will center around Star Trek and its effect on this mission and the world in general. We'll have some special guests and some special stuff associated with that dinner event. The 23rd will be a memorial service in the AM, and that's typically a 2 to 3 hour kind of an event. It's non-sectarian. It's really pretty cool. We'll have some interesting speakers, and likely we'll have numerous family members who want to tell their stories, and we like to capture that. It's a great way to share the event. And then at some point, either late at night on the 23rd or whenever the launch is on the 24th, we will charter transportation and take you to a viewing site that's pretty well known. It's so well known, it's called Space View Park. And we've leased the facilities there so that we can have a private viewing of the launch. And again, when I say facilities, that's always helpful if you're waiting around outdoors to see a rocket go. And we'll, as I say, we charter transportation both ways, so you don't have to find it. You don't have to drive to it. And sometimes you don't have to battle the crowds. Again, I'm thinking that there won't be millions of people there for this launch, but you never know. That there may be a lot of people here for the launch. I wanted to say the same caveat as always. This is the targeted launch time, and many things have to be completed. But if you've been following our Facebook page, which is, I think, very well done, we're picking up on the ULA shipping the Centaur, loading the GEM rocket motors, elevating the Vulcan itself on the pad. So you're seeing they're not letting any grass grow underneath them, but all of that stuff has to go flawlessly, as well as a little roll out to the pad. So, but this is a 3-day launch window. It can only go during those 3 days this month. Otherwise, we'll fast forward, depending upon why it didn't go, to January for the flight. But I think everyone can tell that it's getting very real. It's getting, all of the development associated with this new highly high-tech monster rocket called Vulcan is coming together. So we're excited. I think maybe at this point, why don't we take some questions? Again, family members, primary contacts, secondary contacts, you'll get an email with a link to our event pages that tell you where the hotel is, what the schedule is each day, all of the things that you need to know to make your reservations with us. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say. We have a bunch of people that purchased reservations for the launch when it was May 4th and have not requested a refund or letting it ride. For you, you'll see in the email, there's a specific link for you to go to and just update your reservations. You don't need to do anything else. It's a pretty simple way to let us know who's coming. All right, shall we scroll to the top? And Mark, do you want to referee here any of the questions?
Yes, there's a bunch of they're all great questions, by the way. Some we've repeated in the past, some because there are people that are here for the first time, so that's okay. The question I'm hearing or I'm reading the most of is where is our headquarters located? Where is the hotel that everyone should try and get into?
Well, I will tell you that it's the Radisson Resort at the port. The link that will provide you is going to allow you to access the block of rooms that are set aside for us. You may well be able to make that your own reservations independently of that link. I don't know that Christmas Eve is a big night at the Radisson Resort at the port, but all of that information, it's the same place we've run all of our missions since 2017 from.
Right. For those that don't know, I live here in Orlando, in the suburbs of Orlando, and I know what it's like here around the Christmas season. So if anybody has any questions to that fact, you can. Hey, Charles, before we go ahead, you guys have posted this on the website, but I was really curious if there's any more explanation to this that you can probably share with us.
This? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's our Centaur stage, the new one, the one that didn't have the leak that caused the explosion. So we're right under. We're at the bottom. The what's called the aft skirt isn't attached, but there's another segment that's attached right at the bottom, and that's where our Enterprise payloads are attached, and that's what they'll ride all the way.
Wow. Okay. That's incredible. I mean, just to see this and then scale with people. If you see the people on the right and the left down to them, that thing is a monster.
And that's the little part. That's the little rocket. the big rocket is that. Yeah, it's amazing. I see a question. I'll go ahead and jump
Yeah,
on, which
go
is,
for it.
if there's a weather technical scrub on the 24th, will ULA launch on Christmas Day? The answer is yes. So Santa rides a rocket, I guess.
Yeah.
And the schedule of events is on the website, which will be open for everybody to look at. The events website, which will be available for everybody to look at starting Friday. So
Starting
that's
Friday.
where the hours of the day these things happen and the location they happen and all that kind of stuff is. All right.
Okay. There's a lot here. Some are repeating. A lot of people are saying they're listening. Glad you're listening. If you can't watch us, remember you can watch this again. I want to call out. Let's see.
So let me
Yeah, go
take
ahead.
this.
Whatever you grab,
Okay,
Charles.
yeah, you keep scanning and I'll
I
just.
am. There's a lot.
So for Larry Blakely, if you prepay for your service, the money is put into a trust account that is in your name, and it's earning interest. And if somehow you outlast us, although we're 30 years and going now at this point, you would just simply get your money back through the trust account. Okay.
Someone is asking for the Destiny flight.
Yeah,
Is
the
there
answer
potential
is
flight?
the answer is yes. There, we know where it's going. Well, we've not made a final decision on which of two providers we're going to fly for that mission. We will obviously make that decision in plenty of time to do it, but they have two different sites. So I know both sites, and at the proper time, we will make that announcement. And the proper time being when we know.
Okay. Sue has asked, can we be picked up at the Radisson at the Port Cape Canaveral Hotel and taken to the pad?
I
I'm
think
assuming
she means taken to the viewing site for the
Yeah,
launch. And
that's
yes,
what I
that's
thought as
part
well.
of the service that we provide, that you can sign up for on the website. The pad itself, well, I won't say anything else, but we will be. Let me put it this way: any of the events, once you get to the Radisson, we will be providing. If you need to have transportation, we'll be providing the charter transportation.
Okay.
Just
Patricia asks, go ahead.
Jan,
I'm sorry, Charles.
Jan Taylor, go to our website starting when you get the email with the link. Go to the website. That's how you do it starting Friday.
Okay. Pat asked for a rescheduled date in January.
I've not, ULA took long enough to release this date.
Yeah.
I,
Don't hold
if
your breath.
they,
Is what you're saying?
here's what I can tell you, Pat. I see that the Houston Intuitive Machines is got a launch to the moon scheduled in January. And I saw that their launch was scheduled, it's a SpaceX booster, on January 12th. So I don't think the orbital dynamics are any different for SpaceX or ULA. So if that's really the 3-day period in January that you can get to the moon, I'm guessing, with no confirmation from ULA, that we're looking at maybe a mid-January reschedule.
Okay.
How's that for caveat?
Yeah, that was great, actually. Let's see. Stephanie says, are any of the events, interviews, etc., broadcast for people who
Yes.
can't travel there? So that
Yes.
is a yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's good question. So we're certain that we will webcast the memorial service, and we're certain that we will webcast astronaut Fred Hayes's speech to everybody. Apollo 13 astronaut. I didn't mention
No, you didn't. I forgot
we're
myself.
really honored to have an Apollo astronaut, a legend, and many other missions, but a legend who is coming to be with our families and to speak with us. We're just thrilled that he'll be there. And so we'll webcast that, and then ULA will do a world-class webcast of the launch. We may decide to do our own version of ULA's webcast, which means we'll probably have some commentators that can commentate, but comment. But the webcast, the live cast itself will be a ULA, and they got lots of good people to do that.
Yeah, and if I could touch on this real quick, and I don't think it was a personal thing if she had posted it in the chat, and that is from Tony McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, our whole family will be on the Enterprise flight, accompanying our brother and our father who passed away this morning. What a beautiful way to celebrate the love of family. Thank you, Celestis. All right, Tony.
Yeah.
He's coming along. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mark.
Sorry.
Welcome to the Celestis family, Tony. It's a good group of folks.
All right, and we've already answered some of these about being able to watch the launch. I'm seeing a couple repeats on that. Hopefully you guys have picked up on that. Will the events be held at the same location as it was back in May?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sue. Yep.
Yes.
Same hotel, same great pool out back, a great little party area out back. We're gonna have a great time.
Self-contained, and there's room for quiet contemplation. It's not far to walk across the street road to the beach. It's a good location.
It's a great location. I really like it. Okay.
So there's a 3-day, 4-day issue, which is inevitable.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that one too.
We start on the 21st. The 21st, 22nd, and 23rd are the times that we have events. If it's the 24th, later than early morning, then it'll be a 4-day event. But we will take you to the launch a few hours before it is, whenever it's scheduled. Let me put it that way, and you can count your days associated.
Okay, make sure, guys, Friday you check the website and the Facebook page for the schedule
and your email. No, again, we're only releasing this information, and I think just because we think the families deserve the first care that we can offer, and I think for everybody else, you're going to be more than welcome. There's going to be a place for you, but just let us get our families taken care of first, and then we will send an email out to anybody that said, hey, keep me up to date on the mission. We'll get the next email, which points you to the same website, and it'll be a few days after Friday. So that's what
Kimberly said, is the cost the same for reservations as it was last launch date?
I don't know about the hotel rates, but the reservation packages are the same price. Yes.
Okay, and of course, Cindy asked, well, how many family members can attend?
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Okay, we're going through these guys. Oh, by the way, that's important. So if you guys can read that.
Oh, here's one that I want to answer.
Go, please.
Yeah, the link will be provided in the email that we send to you no later than Friday. You'll get that link. So let's answer that. But here's one that says, if the weather changes right before the 24th, will the entire 3-day program scheduled for 12, 21, 23 move back? No. Again, because there's only the 24th, no, we're going to conduct all of the pre-launch events on the dates that we set them. And then you'll either have an extra day to hit the beach before the launch if it moved back. But the maximum stay you'll want to allow for is a launch on the 26th.
Here's a great technical question for you. I really like this one. It says, will the orbit be different depending on which of the 3 days the rocket flies?
Not the 3 days. No. Once I've looked this up, I'm not prepared / allowed yet to release the final orbital trajectory. I'm working on getting that approval. But those 3 days are all within the same. They'll all, if it goes in those 3 days, it will go to the same place no matter which of those 3 days it goes.
That's nice to know. That's good information.
And Oren, we will get back to you on whether you're registered or not. Okay, let's.
Well, some of these questions I'll let you approve, I should say.
Addison link coming, orbit different. It's currently sold out at the port if you try to book direct. That's why you need to click on our link. And I'm not trying to be difficult. I think
you're not. I don't think you are.
The fairest way to give all of our families an equal shot at getting the rooms that we have blocked off. And we have a lot of rooms blocked off. So I don't anticipate that there'll be any issue in getting rooms. And also there's two other, it's Cocoa Beach, right? There's no shortage of hotels, but we are preferentially allowing our family members to register via our link. Okay. What is it like in the area during the holidays? Busy?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Huh?
I'm sorry?
What do you know?
Oh, yes, I do.
Is it busy? I assume no, but it would be busy before New Year's, but I didn't know about Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's interesting. Since I worked at Universal Studios for 8 years, so I know what the theme park crowd is like during the holidays because I've worked almost every holiday at a theme park. Walt Disney World, believe it or not, could be absolutely dead on Christmas Day, but any day leading up to that could be, pretty jam-packed. So it will be busy. A lot of people do plan their vacations around Disney World. So it's really important that you go Friday, click on our link, and do what the site tells you to do. But do prepare. If you're going to book your flights, I wouldn't hesitate to book your flights. I'd book them tomorrow if you plan on coming. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. No, entire schedule won't be pushed back. Could launch on Christmas. Okay, so Tori says it's on the forward adapter. I would go with what Tori says. I literally touched the hardware in the factory. I was under the impression that it was an aft skirt, but I would definitely go with what Tori says.
Oh, so we're under the dome? Is that what you're saying?
Above the dome, under the payload. We're in the connector between the top of the Centaur and the bottom of the payload fairing.
Yeah, Oren wants to wear her Star Trek uniform during the week.
Absolutely.
Please. It would be fantastic.
Yeah, no. Well, and I've got a couple of surprises that will make it very apropos. But awesome. I want them to be surprises. So if you prepaid for events and can't make it, what's the deadline to get a refund? It's 2 weeks before. So you've got all the way up to 2 weeks to request your refund.
Let me see.
Closer view of the pad in the days leading up to. I am going to table that question for the next such live stream, and I believe I'll have the answer then.
I'm glad you said that because I was wondering. I didn't think this would be the last.
Right.
I thought
No,
seriously
no,
we
no,
would have
no,
one in
no, no,
December.
no, no. This
Yeah.
is one, you know, we just got the date a week ago. I'm really impressed with my group of being able to pull all this stuff together this quickly. We knew it was coming, but nevertheless, there's a lot of communicating and such that has to be done. So, Gene, stay tuned is what I can say.
Right.
Is the window closed or is there room for three more?
Wow.
I'm
Um,
so, I mean, I can ask. I squeezed one more in today. Uh, we don't, it would have to be like amazingly fast. So, Carol, if you could just send an email to launchteam@celestis.com and write important, and then Christiana will get back with you. I don't want to say that I don't want to say either way. It, it will be, if we're able to do it, it will be amazing. But
well, don't forget me.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not planning on kicking off between now and then the flight, but my DNA is flying as well. I just want to make sure that you don't forget me. Okay.
No, you made the first. This is the second integration. So if you recall,
Ah,
everyone, we were closed, ready to fly in May, and
yeah.
then the Centaur testing anomaly happened,
It
and
broke.
they said, "Well, it's going to be a while." So we went back and said, "Well, we've got more room. Can we put some more folks on?" And the answer is yes. So we're putting around 40 additional people on the flight next
Wow.
week.
That many?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So please, I mean, if you're serious, at least I can say we'll ask the question. I'm not afraid to do that.
Hey,
All right.
Charlie, is Mr. Hayes doing an autograph session?
We're Mr. Hayes is in his 90s,
Okay.
so what we think we may do is to allow him to offer some books and to autograph the books there. It's not yet set. It's like everything. It's like this will be a very dynamic uh, event. So we're in discussions about whether that works for everybody.
And did we
Uh,
mention to everyone, you had mentioned Bruno was kind of correcting us? Did we mention who actually Bruno is to our folks here?
oh, I'm sorry. Well, Torrey Bruno is the CEO of ULA. So,
Yeah.
and he's a great guy.
Oh, it's fantastic.
If you watch his interview with CNBC, which is available anywhere on the web, when he announced the launch date, he says nice things about us. So
That's awesome. And if you
he's
did
he's
not,
he's a
go
cool
ahead.
dude. I like him.
Yeah. If you
And
did
he
not
is
attend our last broadcast, we had him as a guest. So you
yeah, we
can
did.
actually pull up our last broadcast and he
That's
literally describes how the rocket flies, where the rocket goes, the whole 9 yards. So you'll be getting it from the top. We did
correct.
get it from the top.
Let me take Jay's Rubin's question. So yeah, what you're going to need to do is uh, click the link and just fill in the registration that link takes you to.
What's he
Uh,
say, Charles?
if
Because I don't
if
see
they're
it.
not able, if some are not yet decided, you don't have to fill them in yet. They have up until 2 weeks before to make that decision.
Oh, I see it. Got it. Okay.
Jay Rubin.
Yep. Um, I see. That's the answer that came in
Will
from Bruno.
media be present to celebrate the Star Trek? Media will be there just because of everybody that's
Yeah.
on board. Yes, certainly the Star Trek members bring visibility, but Maria, so does your husband. So do the Himalayan mountain climber that climbed all seven peaks, the Korean Himalayan mountain. Yes, we're expecting media. Christmas Eve, you never know, but the
Yeah.
world will know this um, mission is going.
Yeah, they've been watching and they've been anticipating a date. And now that the date has been officially announced, I'm sure they're making the same sort of plans that you're making as well. So you may want to get on the stick, as they say.
The Jennifer Zierli, Loveland Zierli, it's a good point. We do a bagpipe tribute. Um, we've not done military honors before, but we have lots of vets on board. So actually, I will take a action to contact the local VFW and see that would be an appropriate thing to have for people.
That would be great. Yeah.
No, you don't have to be there on the 21st for registration. We are running registration also throughout the day of the 22nd.
That's a good point because if it's hard to get a flight on the 21st, bear in mind that you don't have to be there on the 21st, like Charles had just said. So don't make it a big pressure point for you to, oh my God, I got a book on the 21st. I got a book on the 21st. No, you don't. We just still want you there, but not specifically on that day.
For the question about when will events start on the 22nd, I would say not later than 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's a good point too. If people do
Question:
book
what
a
happens
flight.
with registration?
Mm-hmm.
The next question. I'm just pushing on the next
Yeah,
question.
please.
What happens at registration? That's where you collect your badges, all the information about schedules, everything that you need to participate in the day's events, and we log you in so that we know you're there.
We have an ADA question here. Young lady Christy says, I'm in a wheelchair. If I can make it, will there be wheelchair accommodations?
Yes.
I can account for the fact that by Florida law, because I do design facilities and homes or whatever, you basically ADA everywhere unless it's really, really an old structure.
Okay. No reported Bill Shatner sightings.
Yes, he'll be in Melbourne, I do believe. Forget the date.
Will Liam Kennedy be able to provide an update to his software? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. That software tracks Earth orbits, and we're going to be in a 300 million kilometer orbit. So I don't know. We're looking at what tracking applications or opportunities we might have once the final orbit is established.
Okay, our Celestis team put up a very noteworthy fact here.
How to get it? Just for refund for tickets you bought in May, just contact cs1@celestis.com and request it. Or indicate how long we can wait to see if the launch pushes to January or later. Up to 2 weeks before this. If I understand, you're probably not going to be able to make the December launch, but if it moves to January, you may be able to go. You won't know whether the launch pushed to January until the close of the window on the 26th, if the rocket is healthy. And you would need to get refunds on your May 4th tickets. You would need to apply for those 2 weeks before that time. So there's going to be a window but if you get the refund and then you want to purchase tickets in January, you can do that. So we're pretty accommodating. All right. Robert.
I'm at the bottom.
You're welcome, Robert Indonesia. Yeah, I think you'll be able to see the launch from Delray Beach if it is a night launch.
Yes, which are spectacular, and I'm actually hoping for one of those.
Good question, Cora. Both launches are subject to the 3-day launch window. Both of those payloads are attached to the same rocket. So it's the moon mission that dictates the launch window for both flights.
Makes sense.
1222 Sue Clark, that'll be fine. Just go to the website when you get your email. And if you don't get an email Friday for some reason, check your spam. That happens. But call us. We'll be happy to, or email us and we'll send you the direct link.
Okay.
Which date is the dinner? That is the evening of the 22nd. No, not likely, Stephanie. The events, the pre-events are intended to be pre-events, and if the launch somehow moves to January, we're not going to fire up all those events again. But we will, host the launch viewing, but we just won't do all the other things. Pat, I don't know your question about whether the Radisson will kick you out or not. It's whatever policy they have. Colby Youngblood, our president, has weekly meetings with them, and we can try to get an answer on that policy.
Okay.
Christy Lent, you're welcome. We're happy to accommodate you. Sad we have to put your husband, but I know how fulfilling the launch will be. Jennifer Lampton, yes. More prominent participants. Okay, well, I start out by saying everybody is prominent to us. Everybody has an amazing life story.
Good job.
They're all wonderfully special people, but I don't want to be clever by half. Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek, Majel Barrett Roddenberry, Nurse Chapel on Star Trek, James Doohan, Scotty on Star Trek, Nichelle Nichols, Uhuru on the original Star Trek, DeForest Kelly, Bones on the original Star Trek. In fact, the majority of the original cast and the creator of Star Trek are on this flight, which is, of course, why we named it Enterprise. But we have Apollo astronaut Philip Chapman. We have a space shuttle astronaut. We have Gregory Gine, who was a very famous, there was a big article in the New York Times about him. He did special effects.
Who?
For Star Trek.
Trumbull. No.
Well, yeah, but not him. I'm talking about Gine right now. I'll get to Trumbull.
Yeah. Oh, Gine, yeah.
Yeah, and he's on board. Doug Trumbull, the guru of sci-fi special effects, starting with 2001 and Close Encounters and everything. Some other very well-known people in their field, but again, a lot of just everyday people who love space.
Yep. Agreed.
Let's see. Thank you for a volunteer to support our team. I think we've got a good group, but show up when you're there, when you come, and we may well put you to work. Okay. Oh, yeah. Which presidents or president's DNA are going? It's George Washington, Dwight Eisenhower, and John F. Kennedy. Let's see. If primary member gets email Friday, but it goes live on Friday. Well, it only goes live if you know how to get to it.
Yeah.
And that's what's in the email. We give you the super secret link. So you do have priority, but don't dawdle. Let's see. Thank you. You're welcome.
Once again, as a reminder, this broadcast can be rewatched at your convenience. And don't forget on Friday to go to our Celestis webpage and click on the link for all the event information. So you can get all this information again.
Yeah, here's a couple of good questions. More requests for military honors and TAPS. So we'll try to work for that. This is a good one. Safe to assume the dinner on the 22nd is cosplay appropriate.
Cosplay,
cosplay. Well, costume. Yeah. I think so. It's meant as more of a celebration. The memorial service is the remembrance and the quiet time, and so I think it'll be fine. We've actually had a few people dress in Star Trek outfits to come to our launches.
Yeah, I would suggest if you're going to dress in any Star Trek outfits, if you make it dress uniform, guys. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gerald, the hotel is the Radisson Resort at the port, and we are sending out a link to access the block of rooms that we have by Friday. How do we get the president's DNA? That's a great story. I think I told it during one of these. But so in ancient times, meaning the early Americas, that era, people didn't ask for famous people's autograph. They asked for people's locks of hair.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, celebrity hair collecting is, I don't know how big of a hobby it is, but it's a pretty big hobby. And so what we did is we went to the leading celebrity hair broker, and all of his stuff has provenance, everything, it's legit stuff. And we purchased samples of these and some others, and that's how we got the president's DNA. We all right. So 20
Charles,
seconds.
we got about 3 minutes, unless you want to go
Okay.
over.
I'm trying to get through here. All right. I think I got through everything. Thank you. This is fun. And I want to say that in the context of, we really do understand that this is a celebration and it's tinged with grief and sadness. And we really can't do a lot about that, but we can create the most fulfilling memorial service on or off the planet. And you'll see that when you come and be part of it. Yes, it's cool to see it on the web. When you are there and you're standing a few miles away and the sky lights up, regardless of whether it's day or night, and eventually the rumble overwhelms, it's a very amazing feeling. So I'm looking forward. This will be my 30th or so launch, but they never change. And for you all, it's amazing because you have a direct connection to this flight. I told Tori Bruno that you may think that's your rocket. I'm going to have a few hundred people there that know it's theirs. And that's it's an amazing feeling. So I'm looking forward. We'll do another one of these in November for sure, and as needed. But couldn't do it without you guys. And I'm looking forward to meeting as many of you as I can in Florida.
So am I. I'm really looking forward to everyone. So please come up and say hi to us, and just allow me to shake your hand or give you a hug, please. That's my honor in this whole thing. So, Charles, this is great. And once again, remember, you can watch this again. Remember, Friday the link opens. Remember, please contact our Celestis team Any question you have is not a dumb question. They will answer them all. So please make use of us to make your journey here comfortable, exciting, and memorable. This is a once in a lifetime event, it is a world historic event, and you're going to be part of it. So make use of it. Let's get yourself together, guys. Okay. Charles, that's it, I guess.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight, and we appreciate you being here, and there will be another update, so don't think this is the last one before the flight, okay? So on behalf of Charles, myself, of course, our president, Kobe Youngblood, just thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. This is exciting. So, ciao. Talk to you soon, okay?
This is the launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5, vehicles armed, 3, 2, 1, fire.